So how long does it take to set up an email marketing system? It's a question I get asked quite a lot. In this video I'm going to break it down into the steps that you need to do to get it up and running and how long each step takes. So let's dive in. Okay, so before I get into the actual steps required to set up an email marketing system, I just want to put a bit of context around it regarding things that will influence how long it takes you to set up yours. The first one is experience. Obviously, if you are brand new to email marketing, you've never done it before, then it's probably going to take you a bit longer than someone who's already set it up 3, 4, 5 times in the past using whatever platforms. The second thing is the actual email marketing platform you choose. Now there's a whole array of platforms out there to choose from. The platform I use is called Kit. I use it because of its simplicity, its ease of use, but it still has a powerful feature set that I think is appropriate for a service-based solo business like mine. If you choose another platform, that platform could have a steeper learning curve. It could be that it takes a bit more to get your head wrapped around it, so that could influence how long it takes. The third thing that will influence it is how complex a system you want to design and build for your business. My recommendation is, when people are just starting, is to begin with the basics, and once you master those, then you can then start to enhance the system you've got. But getting it up and running with the basics will give you momentum, and it'll give you a great foundation from which to build your email marketing system. And finally, I'd say the fourth thing that influences how long it's going to take you is how ready are you when it comes to content. Do you have content that you can use immediately in your email marketing system? Do you have blog articles that you can reference? Do you have things that you can offer as lead magnets? And I'll come on to talk about lead magnets in a while. But if you already have some of them in place, then obviously your time to get your system up and running is going to be reduced versus someone who doesn't have anything ready yet, and you're going to take a bit of time to do that. Both of which are fine, by the way, but just to give you context around the things that are going to influence how long it's going to take from start to finish. So with that said, let's now dive into the actual steps that need to be taken in order to go from having no email marketing system to having one that is collecting subscribers and working for you and your business. Okay, so step number one, you need to choose which email marketing platform you're going to use, and then you need to configure it so that it works for your business the way you want it to. So to get an actual account on a platform does not take very long. It's literally minutes. So for all the examples I'm going to walk you through in this video, I'm going to make reference to Kit because that's the platform I use, and it's the one that I recommend you do too if you're a solo service-based solo business. So to get a Kit account, simply navigate to kit.com, and you'll see there's a blue button at the top right. It says Start Free Trial. If you click that, you'll get a 14-day free trial, giving you access to all the premium features. And if you don't apply a payment card after 14 days, you'll revert back to their free plan. Now, the free plan doesn't have any automations or email sequences included in it, which are two of the features that I believe that everybody should use because they're a game changer when it comes to your email marketing system. If you use my link, I've got an affiliate link down below. You can get a 30-day trial of Kit if you want by using that link. But either way, it's entirely up to you what you do. So getting the Kit account literally takes less than 5 minutes. You can have an account set up in no time at all. Once you have an active Kit account, then you need to configure it. So if I just quickly jump into a demo account that I have here, in settings, you'll see in here there's a number of things you need to get set up. Now the most important thing you need to do in here is to have what's known as a verified sending domain. You can see in here for this demo account I've got this verified sending domain here. Essentially it's 3 records, these 3 here, that get copied and then put into your DNS settings. Now if this all seems too technical and you don't understand it, you don't need to. All you need to know is that these 3 records need to be inserted into your DNS records for whichever domain you own. Kit actually has a tool for doing it for you. If I click on add a verified sending domain, it'll ask me what domain I want to use, and then it'll do all the stuff for me. So there's no problem getting that set up. So one of the other things you'll want to do is get into general, and then put your business name in here. Now, it doesn't need to be your actual business name. It could be a product name. It could be your own name. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just that's what will show up when people are making reference to any assets you've got on your Kit account. This is what they'll see in here. So set that up, and then back in the email button here, you've got your from email address up here. So you can have multiple from email addresses. So for example, if you had 2 different companies that you're running, for example, you could have both set up in here, but you can only have one set as the default from email address. And once you've got that set up, you're pretty much ready to go. You're ready to start creating assets on Kit, and you can make tweaks as you go on after that. So that's all you need to do to choose your platform, create an account, and then configure it with the verified sending domain. Those are the minimum requirements. You can do all that easily in less than an hour. Much more likely to be, half of that. Okay, so step number 2, you need to decide on what you're going to use as your first lead magnet, and then create it. So if you're not familiar with the term lead magnet, it's essentially something that you can give for free to your prospective subscribers. That's going to help them overcome a particular problem or challenge. And in exchange for that, they'll give you their name and their email address, let's say. So that lead magnet could be literally anything you want it to be. You're limited only by your imagination. Providing whatever it is you create, somebody finds it valuable enough that they're willing to give you their email address in exchange. So I'll give an example of one that I use in my business. So if I go to my website, say up here, free help, it says I need help starting email marketing. That will take people to this here. It's a downloadable PDF document, together with an email course that helps people get started with email marketing. So when someone submits their details using this form on my website, what happens is that information is taken, it's sent to Kit. Kit then detects that information and automatically sends out a confirmation email. It's called an incentive email in Kit to that subscriber and say, was that you that tried to join my list and download my guide? If it was, click this button, and that's called a double opt-in, okay? Once they click on the confirmation button inside the email, it then takes them directly to the downloadable PDF. They can download it themselves. So again, nothing I'm doing is happening automatically inside Kit. So they've now got their PDF, their downloadable document, and I now have their name and their email address as a confirmed subscriber in my system. Now, if you've already got a lead magnet, that's great. You've saved yourself time. You don't need time to create one. However, if you haven't, you need to create one somehow. So that's going to take you time. Okay, if you're going to do a downloadable PDF, you need to find a tool that's going to do that. I tend to use Canva. That's just where I go for my PDF stuff. I create them inside there. There are many more tools you can use. Just choose one that works for you and that you're comfortable using. However, it doesn't need to be a downloadable PDF. Your lead magnet could be a recorded video. It could be an audio file. It could be a one-to-one call. It could be a webinar. It could be any number of things. But for the PDF, you need to be able to create it somewhere. So this one here, I'll give you an example of this. This is what this document looks like. So this is like a 30-something page document that's it's complete in what it shares. So if you take this document and work through it one end to the other, you'll have absolutely everything you need to set up your email marketing system. What I also do in this one, so I've got a kind of a layered lead magnet here. So I am actually giving away 2 lead magnets in one. So they get the PDF, but towards the end you'll see here, I also tell them they're getting a free bonus email course. So Inside Kit, I've also created an email course. It's like a 7-day email course that gets drip fed out to the subscribers once they join my list via this route. That helps them understand each thing I'm sharing with them inside the downloadable PDF. So it does two things. So the email course helps them get a deeper understanding of the things that I'm sharing in the PDF, and it also keeps them more likely to be engaged in the thing that they actually downloaded the PDF, so that they actually complete and do the thing that they want to do. So it's about engagement as well. So they'll have that document. I also give them a way to contact me. I give them my email address if they want to contact me that way. And then if I look inside, this is what the email sequence that they get looks like inside Kit. So you can see down the right hand side all the different emails they get. They're all a day apart. The first one they get is this email saying thanks for downloading it, and then it waits a day and it sends the next one. Waits another day, sends another one, and the process continues. So for each day, they're getting a different lesson. They're getting different resources from me that I'm sharing with them. And there's actually one, I think it's this one here, yeah. So this one here, there's actually a mini series of videos embedded in one of the emails. So it's almost like layered again, because I want to give them actual real footage of over the shoulder lessons on how to use the things that I'm sharing with them. So that if they click on that video, then it takes them to this site here, and they get all the emails, all the videos listed here. Now these videos are 2 or 3 minutes long. It doesn't take lots, like I think it's 45 minutes. So everything I've just explained to you is one lead magnet that I use in my business. Now that lead magnet probably took me, creating that document probably took me the best part of an afternoon at least, so maybe 4 hours, maybe 6 hours even, between 4 and 6 hours. To create that email sequence probably took me another couple of hours, maybe another hour or two. And to create those videos probably took me another couple of hours. So all in that, it's probably taken me 10 or 12 hours to create that entire lead magnet. But the beauty of that is that I have been using that, and I can use that for hundreds and for thousands of subscribers, because each one that subscribes via that channel, via that lead magnet, of course they're seeing it all for the first time. So everybody's starting afresh, and all the information I'm sharing is just as relevant for them as it was for the first person that ever accessed it. And that's what you should be looking for in your business too, is look for something that will remain valid for a long time, so that people can continually use it over and over again. So that's been step 2. Decide on what your lead magnet is going to be, and then create it. And if you already have a lead magnet that you want to use, then great. You don't need to create one. All you need to do is add it into Kit. Okay, so step number 3, you need a way of collecting subscribers' details when they are interested in whichever lead magnet you've come up with. The 2 ways in which you do that, one is called a landing page and one is called an opt-in form. So I'm going to show you what the difference is between one and the other. So first of all, I'll go to a landing page, and inside Kit, those are accessed under Grow Landing Pages and Forms, okay? So when I get in there and I click Create New, I'm giving 2 options. Do I want to create a form or an opt-in form, or do I want to create a landing page? Now, what an opt-in form is, even if you're not familiar with the term, you've probably seen them. It's like an embedded form inside someone's web page. So if you go to let's say you go to my website, and go to download this starter guide. This entire website is hosted on a platform called WordPress, so it's not on Kit. However, this opt-in form here that you can see, this first name, email address, and this red button, they are actually not created on my website. They're actually created inside Kit, and then they're embedded on this web page. So that's an opt-in form embedded on my website. And then the second option, a landing page. A landing page is different because that landing page is entirely hosted on your email marketing platform. So in other words, Kit will host this page for me, and it means that I don't need to create a web page on my website if I don't want to. So whichever one you use is entirely up to you. The simplest way to get started, especially if you're not technical, is just create a landing page, because it's pretty simple to do, and it's all hosted for you by Kit, the platform. You don't need a website. So to give you an example of a landing page, this is one here that I created as an example. So essentially it's just one page. There's nothing on it apart from what you're talking about. So in this case, I'm saying come along to this free training that I'm putting on, 5-day free training. Submit your first name, your email address, and then click the button. And then inside Kit, I take care of everything else with automations and emails and stuff like that. But essentially, I'm collecting those subscribers using that landing page. Now in this video, I'm not going to show you how to create landing pages and opt-in forms because I've done a detailed video on that you can find on my YouTube channel here. Check that out. So for now, all I want you to do is be able to understand the difference between an opt-in form, a landing page, decide which one makes most sense for you at this moment, and then create it. So you can see it's pretty simple and what it has on it. There's not a lot of information needed, so it can be done quite quickly, certainly less than an hour to do that. Okay, so step number 4, what you want to do now is create what I call a lead magnet sequence. So when someone shows up at your email marketing system looking to get the lead magnet that you've created, whatever that is, once they've got that, you want to then drip feed them a few emails after that that are very relevant to the thing that they downloaded or they accessed, whatever your lead magnet is. Because what that does is it helps them to go even deeper on the information that you're sharing with them. But secondly, it also keeps them engaged for longer because you're sharing emails with them at the same time as they're consuming the thing that you've given them. So if I just jump across to my website, just as another example of an email lead magnet that I use. So this one is an email marketing checklist for solo business owners. Okay, so essentially I've summarized a whole bunch of things that you should be making sure you've done when you're running a successful email marketing system, and putting it into nicely laid out, summarized lists that people can tick off once, to make sure they've done all the things they need to do. They download the checklist using this form. When they click it, they get the checklist and job done from that perspective. But after that, then what I do is I then start to drip feed them a few emails to help support that checklist. So if I jump across into Kit, you can see here that this is the first email they would get. I'd wait a day and then I would send it. Thanks for downloading. I always put an image in there just to remind them about the thing they downloaded. And then I help them, I'll wait a couple of days, I'll send them another email. If they don't have a free Kit account, they can get one there. And then I give them some more helpful tips, etc. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm drip feeding content over, how many days is this? 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, just over a week. They're getting drip fed emails that are specific to the problem that they turned up with. So whatever that problem is, I'm just focusing on that, I'm not doing anything else. And that's what a lead magnet sequence should do. So let's say in this example, so someone downloads my email marketing checklist. If I then don't send them anything, then they're much less likely to engage with me over the long period. They're also less likely to consume the checklist that I've just shared with them. They'll probably leave it lying in a folder somewhere and maybe not even look at it. Whereas if you drip feed them emails that are relevant both to the problem they arrived with and the thing you gave them, then they're much more likely to become engaged with it and actually do something about it. So that's why I like to use that. And also, I always make sure that I've helped someone with the problem they had to start with before I start trying to solve other problems. So if they turn up with that and I start all of a sudden saying, here's how to set up automations that helps you do X, Y, and Z, they're like, well, hang on, I never asked for automations. I asked for, and whatever that thing is. So that helps significantly when it comes to subscriber retention and keeping people engaged for longer. So it's good practice to do that. Okay, so step number 5, create your welcome sequence. Now, I tend to put my welcome sequence after my lead magnet sequence just because in my head I think the subscriber wants help with the problem they've arrived with. And me telling them about, what to expect or whatever, what they can get from me is probably secondary in their mind, to say the least. They just want help with the problem they turned up with. So I tend to send the lead magnet sequence, and then after that I send the general welcome sequence. Now, when I say a general welcome sequence, what I mean by that is I keep my welcome sequence generic enough that I can use it no matter how someone joins my list. And I'll explain that in a moment when I show you. Because I'm not making it in reference to the lead magnet, because if you end up with multiple lead magnets, which you probably will do, and in my business I've got, at least, certainly more than 12, probably more than 20 different lead magnets that people can possibly download. But no matter which one they do download, they all get the same welcome sequence. Because the welcome sequence does not specifically relate or make reference to any of my lead magnets. So that said, let's look inside Kit and I'll show you an example of a lead magnet, a welcome sequence inside Kit. So what you can see here is I've got a sequence here that's only got 3 emails in it, okay? So one that goes out immediately, one that goes out one day after that, and one that goes out one day after that again. So I keep it quite minimal. And all I'm doing here is, so put yourself in the position of the subscriber. They've came across my lead magnet, let's say it's a starter guide. They've visited my website, they've submitted their details, and now they've got that downloadable PDF. They can go and they can read that at their leisure. They can learn about email marketing. They can start to generate their email marketing system. And then they've started to receive drip-fed emails about the lead magnet that they've downloaded, the starter guide, helping them understand and go a bit deeper on different aspects of email marketing. Once that sequence is completed, then I send them these sort of generic emails. So this one is just saying what you can expect from my emails. These are the things I talk about, reminding them they've got control of when and how often they get emails from me using the preference center, making it clear about who I help and what it is I do, etc. And then I'll leave it at that. And then the next day I'll send them out saying, is there any questions you've got? If you want to book a 20-minute free call with me, feel free to do that. Now it's not a sales pitch. I genuinely don't do it for a sales pitch. I'm genuinely doing it because I find that a lot of people who download the guide and they're looking to get started in email marketing have perhaps got questions that they can't find an answer for, or they can't find the answer easily or quickly. And I always like to put that in there just in case someone has this need to get something answered, and I can jump on a 20-minute call and just get to know them, they can get to know me, and I can help them get off and running with their email marketing system. And that's all that's for. I don't actually sell anything on that. It's literally just ask me your questions and I'll answer them. And if they don't want that, that's absolutely fine too. And then on the third day, I just remind them to go and update their preferences. Tell me what it is you want me to send. Choose your topics of interest, and the things that you are interested in, I'll drip feed them to you, and the things that you're not, I'll keep them out your inbox. Now, once a subscriber joins my list, they'll then get other opportunities to get other emails. So for example, if someone says, I might send out an email that talks about growing your email list once you're up and running and you want to expand your list and attract more subscribers. So I've got sequences that help people in those specific areas. So I might have an email that I send out that list growth is it's a must. You need to do it. It needs to be a daily activity, etc. And by the way, if you need help growing your list, check out subscribe to this. When they click on it, they click on the button or the link. Inside Kit will automatically tag that person that they're interested in that particular thing, whatever it is, and then Kit will take over and automatically drip feed those emails to it. So in that example that I've just given you, if someone's struggling to grow their email list, then I would maybe send them out, let's say 12 emails over 12 weeks, one a week, saying here's ways in which you can grow your email list. Once they've mastered that, they might then get another email, and inside that will be how ways in which to monetize your email list. And if they click on that, the same thing can repeat. So there's many more ways in which you can get more email in front of your subscribers that's both relevant and appropriate, so that you're not sending them stuff that's encouraging them to unsubscribe because you're confusing them. So that's the welcome sequence. Like I say, it's literally, it could be one email. I tend to have these 3 emails. It could be just one, whatever works for your business. And what it also does by separating the welcome out from the lead magnet sequence is it makes sure that everybody gets a consistent welcome onto your email list, regardless of which way they entered it. Okay, so the final step number 6, in order to get your email marketing system up and running, is create your first visual automation inside Kit. So regardless of what platform you use, they all offer something similar, but the one I'm going to show you today is how we do it inside Kit. So essentially what a visual automation is a way of connecting all the assets that you've created inside your account to make everything happen automatically for your subscribers. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to create a simple visual automation. If I go to Automate Visual Automations and then click New Automation, there's a whole bunch of templates down here, but I'm not going to use those. I'm going to start from scratch so that it's clear how these things work. I'm going to make this super simple and super easy. You can make them far more complex and sophisticated if you want to do that. But if you're just getting started out, start with the basics. So essentially what the automation is saying here is, well, what's the trigger for me doing something? In other words, what do we want Kit to keep its eye on so that if it happens, you go and do something? So I'm going to say if someone joins a forum. Now, when I say joins a forum, what I mean by, let me go back to my website. So if I go to this one here, this form here is what I'm being asked here. What form is it you want me to check out to look for? So I'm going to say here, let's see if I can find one on guide. Download free email marketing guide. Let's add that one. So this free guide here, this email marketing guide, is this here. So that's what's going to trigger this automation. If someone fills in that form there and clicks the button, the red button, this is going to trigger this automation, and people are going to be filtered into this automation. So when people arrive in this automation, and just so that you know, automations like this, they work from top to bottom when it comes to the flow. So people join the top of these automations and they continue going down until they reach the exit at the bottom. You can see that end of automation at the bottom. If I want to add another, the next step into this automation, I just click this little plus button to add the next thing in. The next thing we want to do is add an email sequence. Okay, so remember the email sequence we're going to send out first is the lead magnet one. So in here I could say send out this is the beginner's guide to email marketing, and it's going to give them relevant content that's aligned with the lead magnet that they downloaded, i.e. the guide. So then it'll drip feed all the emails that's inside that sequence to the subscriber, and then it'll drop out the bottom. And next thing I'm going to do is add in another sequence. So this time I'm going to add in the welcome sequence. So I'm going to say general welcome and then click add. Now that in its entirety is a simple but effective automation, and you don't need to make it any more complex than that to start with. Just add in the form that you've created, add in the sequence that you want to accompany the lead magnet, and then add in your general welcome sequence. And then once that's saved, and I always recommend giving it a meaningful name. So free starter guide on boarding. So that could be that automation. So every time someone fills in that form on your website or on your landing page, they get brought into this automation. Kit then starts to drip feed the emails out at the predetermined cadence that you've already set. So first email on day one, second email on day 3, or whatever, until it finishes that sequence. When it drops out of that, it drops into the general welcome sequence. Again, in my case, it drip feeds the 3 emails I have in mind, and then it drops out of that. So what you're doing is you're creating a consistent and automated onboarding process for all your subscribers. And that's a visual automation. That's how simple it is. It literally takes, you can see how long it took there, less than 5 minutes to actually create that. And then at the top right, you've got an active button. If you switch that on and make it active, that's it, it's live, and you can start to share your landing page or your opt-in form with your audience. Okay, so that's us. We are at the end of the 6 steps. So just to summarise, in order to get your email marketing system up and running with the basics, you need to do the following 6 steps. So choose which email platform you're going to use, and then configure it using the verified sending domain, etc. That's going to take you less than an hour. Step number 2, decide on what lead magnet you're going to use, and then create it if you haven't already. That can take anywhere between, well, if you've already got one, it's going to take you no time at all. So anywhere between 0 hours, and I would suggest, in my example of the starter guide, I went a bit deep on that one, and it ended up taking me, between 8 and 12 hours, I think, to create that from start to finish, including all the videos and all the emails, etc. Because I created an email course, a video course, and a PDF for that. Whatever works for you. So easily you could do one in a couple of hours, let's say, if it was just a downloadable PDF document. Step number 3, create your landing page at your opt-in form. So your landing page is the easiest one to start with if you don't have a website, or if you don't have the technical skills to create an opt-in form and embed it on your website. Start with a landing page. Again, you can easily create a landing page like the one I showed you, less than an hour. Step number 4, create your lead magnet sequence. So it's sitting down and writing those however many emails. It could be a couple of emails, it could be 10 emails, that's going to support your lead magnet. Again, you could probably do that in less than an hour. If you want to go deep on it, it maybe takes you a couple of hours. Step number 5, create your welcome sequence. Now, this one's not going to take long. It's 1 to 3 emails max. You probably get it done in half an hour, let's say an hour to be generous. And then finally, step number 6 is just connecting those assets once you've created them inside Kit, by adding them to that visual automation. And as you saw in that demo I did, it's literally, it's 5 minutes to actually create the visual automation and switch it on. So I hope you found that helpful. Just remember that these steps are what will take you to having a basic email marketing system. And I like to think on it as reaching the start line, okay? So once you've done these 6 steps, you're now at the start line of email marketing, and then you can start to grow and evolve your email marketing system by adding on more content, by adding in more lead magnets, more landing pages, different automations. There's a whole load of things that you can add to your email marketing system. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Just take it a little bit at a time. Start with the basics. Once you've done that, sit back, start to collect your subscribers, and then take it from there, moving on to the next steps. So all in all, to answer the question we started with, is how long to set up your email marketing system. I guess the answer is it depends, but based on what I've just shown you, let's be generous and say anywhere probably between 6 and 12 hours to get to a point where you've got an automated system working for you using Kit. So again, thanks for taking the time to watch us. I appreciate it. If you get any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll be sure to answer them, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.